Today we're going to talk about loose leash walking. So first I'll show you how I teach leash walking by coaching an owner with his dog. If you've ever been to my classes or had a private lesson, you will benefit from watching this video to reinforce what you learned during those lessons. I have classes through the Recreator, and I go to homes all over town to coach people on how to train their dogs on loose leash walking.
When you walk with Scout normally, what kind of leash do you use?
We have one of those retractable leashes that he walks ahead of me.
Right. A retractable leash is good to give the dog a lot of exercise, because when you cover 6 miles, the dog essentially covers 12 miles. But it's not necessarily the best tool for teaching leash walking, because it puts constant pressure on the leash, and that pressure activates opposition reflex in the dog. Opposition reflex is in a lot of animals. When you pull this way, the animal tends to pull that way. It's a self-preservation instinct. So your dog on a flexi, that's always tightening and loosening. So he's constantly having opposition reflex activated. You'll notice this leash I've attached to the front of his harness rather than the back. If we put the leash on the back, he's pulling, we're pulling opposition reflex. When we attach it in the front, he's pulling into the harness, and he just turns around to face you. This is in fact the best way to use a leash on a dog. And we are going to condition Scout to walk nicely beside you to earn food rewards. He will be beside you, he can be looking around, doesn't matter. You're going to say good because you appreciate him walking beside you, and you're going to reinforce him with food rewards. Okay? So, would you like to wear this, or would you like to put food in your pocket?
No, I'll just take it.
Clip that right on?
Yeah,
good. We like to not carry a plastic bag or have food in our hand, because the dog can just focus on that plastic bag or on our hand.
So just to recap, when you're teaching loose leash walking, you want your dog to understand that he or she is going to get rewarded for walking beside you. To have your dog on the leash, you need to have the leash in your hand, handle on your hand. You gather up the extra leash with your left hand, and you can walk with your dog on your left or your right, so you would switch those hands up. But your dog would walk beside you, and the food reinforcement is in your pocket to feed your dog right when your dog is in the correct spot. You mark it with good, pull out a food reward, give your dog a food reward. You want to use a nice leather leash, 6 foot long with a handle, as compared to using a flexi leash, because with a flexi leash there's constant pressure on the dog. Constant pressure activates opposition reflex and causes the dog to pull, and we want the dog to understand no pressure means food rewards. All right, as you proceed with loose leash walking, you'll move along as your dog's with you. You say good, you reach for the food, you reinforce the dog. If you hold the food in your hand all the time, your dog will be jumping up trying to grab the food out of your hand. So good comes first, reach in your pocket, feed the dog. All right, so you're all set. Leash in your hand, food rewards in your pocket. Let's go see how Ed's doing.
He has to know that you have food rewards that he's going to appreciate.
I know.
So, right. What food rewards do you usually use?
We got just biscuits.
Okay.
Just regular little biscuits we break in half.
Okay. Frequently, biscuits are not delicious enough to keep a dog's attention. Share some of the food rewards you have in your pocket there, in your pouch. And this is about the right size. Sit. Good. For a simple sit, when you're not looking for him to move around and it's easy to manage your food, you could break that one little piece into many pieces.
Right.
Okay, good. Sit. Nice, good work. Good boy. You want to say good before you provide the food rewards? Good. Nice work. Because good will have value in itself in the end. You never know when you're not going to have food rewards. You want to be able to say, good boy, and then run to the refrigerator to get the lunch meat. So when you do positive reinforcement training, you only have a chance to communicate with the dog when he's doing the right thing, or withholding food when he's not exactly doing the right thing. So what we're going to try to do is put him in the right place And so we can reward him for that, so he can learn. Okay. Good. Perfect placement right there. I can turn around. He can catch up. Good. I feed him right beside me. Good. Good. This way. Yes! Good boy. Nice work. Good job. Good. So he's learning that this is the exact spot where I want him to be. Good. Sit. Yes. All right. So we're going to condition Scout to walk beside you to earn food reward. Oh, good. Nice. So you see, without saying his name a bunch of times, we have reinforced him for doing something very simple. The more we reinforce him for just focusing on us and sitting and looking at us, the less we have to say his name. Okay? Good boy. Scout. Good. Sit. Good job. Reliable reinforcement, good consequences will cause the dog to repeat this behavior over and over again. He's good, right?
Good.
All right. Good. He was perfect. So let's try to catch him when he's right beside your leg. Good. Okay?
Good boy.
Good. Feed him again. Another step. Good. Say good.
Good.
Feed him again. Another step. Good. Feed him again.
Good.
There you go. Another step. Good.
Good.
Perfect leash walking.